how worried do we as investors need to be worried about the Eurozone right now?
I mean, the Eurozone is really showing some signs of a material slowdown, and that naturally has to be of concern to investors. I do think that a lot of the slowdown does stem from uncertainty associated with trade, given that Germany is such an export-driven economy.
You look at that PMI chart and just so dramatic since just December.
I agree, and again, it's quite sobering and should be worrisome for investors. But if we do see a bit of a stabilization on the trade front, if you do see a bit of a troughing in global growth concerns, then I would hope that some of these fears, these worst-case scenarios of an imminent global recession are pared back a bit. And that's our baseline. We do think that we will see a troughing in global growth in Q2. We do think that the trade deal will help, as the president does suggest. And overall, that should help stabilize bond yields and prevent them from driving even further lower.
Mike, do you see a similar story that kind of maybe we're getting near where the worst is over?
Yeah, I think there's, first of all, it started in overseas. Right? Yeah. China has seen, they said the brunt of the trade concerns, plus their economy is already slowing. And they've been stimulating now for a while. So part of the slowdown in Germany is directly related to China because of auto sales, and auto sales have been terrible in China. That's now turning. So we agree. We think the first quarter will be the trough for the global economy. Not so sure about the U.S. economy yet, where that's going to trough. We think the first quarter will probably be the worst. But what is the
which is something we've seen before in
yes.
the U.S. economy.
What does the path look like from there? And I think what we're focused on as equity investors is earnings. And earnings are definitely a different story than the economy. They always are, but particularly because of the tax cuts, right? They got boosted last year because of tax cuts. That's wearing off now. So the economy's slower now. The earnings are going to be even worse. And I think that's one thing that investors are kind of looking past right now a little bit too much because the Fed has pivoted so quickly.